Welcome everyone to view the part 4 of our Miami trip. In this episode, you will get to see what we did on the third day of our tour. We were in a hurry to reach Everglades National Park, which happens to be one of the major attractions of USA, as it is generally apprehended that we go there only to see the crocodiles and alligators, but actually it's more than that. It is the largest wetland ecosystem of United States. It actually covers 1.5 million acres of land, and from this figure you can imagine how big it is. There are 3 points to enter into this Everglades National Park, and we chose Shark Valley as we were about to take a Shark Valley tram tour. The nearest point to enter from our hotel that was at Homestead was the Royal Palm area or Flamingo area, but we chose otherwise. The ticket price per vehicle to enter into this park is $35, but if you have a 4th grader at your home, you can get this kind of pass where everything will be free for you. You can easily download this pass from the government website of National Park Service. To have an access to this area, that is Shark Valley of Everglades National Park, you can have two options. First, you can have this kind of Shark Valley tram tour, and for the tickets you may purchase it online, or you can go there and purchase on the day on which you want to have the tour. The other option is to have the bikes on rental. Our reservation was from 9:30 a.m. As we reached there 5 minutes late, we saw the tram has already gone for its first tour of the day. So we had to wait till 11 for the next trip to begin. The welcome center here had so many things to learn and know about the Everglades National Park and the Shark Valley part especially, that we hardly felt that we had to wait there for 1.5 hours. It was like a small museum with so many things. And information I must include here is that the pass that we got for our 4th grader had to be printed beforehand and showed at the entry points of this kind of tours, because this park has no proper entry gate, so there will be no one to check if you have got tickets or not. So the entry tickets are checked at this kind of tours welcome centers. It was very hot that day and I was having my sweet treat. Even before this Shark Valley tram tour, we saw this alligator. It was just chilling out in the water just few feet away from the welcome center.
Southern tip of South Florida is completely Everglades National Park. However, the Everglades ecosystem is much larger than the national park, and this map shows the ever-colored cartoon mascot. Instead, this alligator, like all of the alligators we will see today,
the government appointed guide here explains everything so clearly and vividly that you're definitely going to enjoy this trip even if you don't manage to see any alligator. So I'm going to use the original sound of this video in most of the part.
we have another alligator, 2 alligators on the left hand.
Oh, there's another.
When we see 2 alligators close to each other like this, don't worry about the 1947 book that she called A River of Grass. And that is a great way to think about the story. Its S-shaped neck, the family of birds, standing above the water to a fish or an animal. And we had a very wet and dry season. In a small, tightly packed cluster of trees that we call a tree island. We are going to see tree islands through the entirety of the trip. There are trees that tend to be more photogenic. I don't know why. That's not scientific, that's just an observation. Again, look at those statuesque black legs, those puffy, pillowy white feathers. That is a wading bird that is dressed. Are the bold cypress tree. Bold is beautiful in the Everglades. These trees are not bold right now, but these trees do lose their needles during the winter in a response to changing water and light levels. Cypress trees like it low.
As I was talking about it earlier also, Everglades National Park is not all about the crocodiles and alligators. It's about the wilderness, it's about the ecosystem.
The same thing as the great blue herons and the great egrets. It lives in the same place, but look at how it's built differently. The anhinga catches fish not from above, but from below the water. This road needed to elevate it so that it would not flood during the wet season. The Park Service could have elevated this road with expensive Italian marble. That's not how it goes. It's hot. The animals are like you and me. You want to go to the AC, the water and the shade. We have been really treated to see. This is far more animals than I would have thought. If you hear what sounds like an old...
This one was the closest one that we could see on the road. It was just having a sunbath. Sometimes these creatures try to cross the road, so while you are visiting their territory, you may need to wait for some time for them to finish whatever they are doing.
I've simplified things a lot. I said everything is sawgrass, but there are different types of grasses. Some of us might observe some cattails, but cattails are a native species.
So this tram will take you to this point where you will have a watchtower and you can climb up there, see the mesmerizing view of the Everglades National Park. You will be given about 20 minutes there to click some pictures, take videos, etc. And then this tram will take you to the base point, that means the welcome center again. And while coming back also, obviously the tour guide will explain different kinds of things that will definitely entertain and surprise you. There are restrooms here and a little shop to offer you the cold drinks and snacks, but the variations are very limited here. At the beginning of this tour only, our tour guide told us to take water with us because we should be hydrated while having this tour. Though there was shade in the tram, but it was very hot and humid out there. And at this part, we must walk towards the watchtower. Apart from your hydration, you must take care of your hats also. As you go up, the winds become stronger and there will be every chance that your hats may be blown away. As we were going up, obviously we were feeling a bit colder and comfortable, and we were trying to look for the crocodiles or alligators or even the birds if you could see anything. Unfortunately, we could not see anything there, but as we reached the top of this tower, we could see a big turtle in the water body which could be seen from there. But the place, the ambience was so good that we did not even think if we are going to see anything from the top of this tower or we are just going there to get some fresh air. This is the turtle which I was talking about.
Gravity down the center of the plant. The fact that the plant is shaped like that actually indicates it is not a true grass, but a type of plant called a sedge. So
our guide told us something about the salt grass, and he actually took one and gave it to us to test how this is different from any other kind of grass. On our way back, we also had some glimpse of the alligators as well as anhinga birds.
That lake behind the tower is a good spot for a big fish. That big fish, they have to eat every day, very effective hunters. And I'm very grateful to them because they're one of the few birds that does not migrate out of here. Although again, in order to get to Shark Valley, you had to drive.
The neck of this bird looked exactly like a snake, and it's obviously easy for them to hide.
How does this respond in hurricanes? I would say that this area in particular suffers.
After this tram ride, we went to have hovercraft ride. I was really very excited for this because this was for the first time I would be riding an airboat. We checked on the internet for the least expensive rides and found that Coopertown Airboat Service, which was also the oldest one, had the options for some discounts, and the children below the age of 6 can have a free ride. The original price for each person here was about $26, while we got this at $18 through Groupon. From the place where we stayed in Miami, it was about 1.5 hours to reach the Shark Valley welcome center, and from there when we were coming back to Cooper Town airboat service, it took almost 1 hour. As we reached there, we were asked to sign waiver. Then we needed to wait for some time. They took a photograph of us and then allowed us to go inside. The total duration shown at the time of reservation was 40 minutes for this airboat ride, but when we reached there, we understood that the total of 40 minutes was not for the ride itself. It was actually divided between two things. First 20 minutes was for a presentation on alligators, and the next 20 minutes would be for the actual ride. This was the place where they actually keep the alligators. In their show, they mentioned that this Everglades National Park is the only place where you can find the alligators and crocodiles together.
It was a live gator. I buy.
To almost 2 million of these alligators here in Florida. There's only one other place that beats us with the most alligators, and it actually beats them in the world even more. So if you would have came out here in 2006 and do a tour, you would have seen big variety species of birds. You would have saw armadillos, you would have saw foxes, you would have, okay?
My son said that it's very cool to touch the alligator, and I was very scared. Though it was just a baby, still it was an alligator. I'm happy with whatever photo and video I've got.
You want to touch it, Ariana? No.
Like, cause I have monkeys, but I also have reptiles at home too. So it's like,
They told us that this one was the grandfather of the baby that was shown a bit earlier. It was really huge. Next, we went for the actual ride on the airboat, and it was really very exciting. We got our seats on first come first serve basis. Since this vehicle causes lot of noise while driving, so we were supposed to wear the headphones and the children were supposed to wear the life jackets. Last year in July, we went to Louisiana and we took a swamp tour where we were about to see the alligators, and there we had to travel through a boat and we could see a lot of alligators here and there in the swamp. It was a thrilling experience indeed, but this time there was none. I don't know the reason. Even the driver of this airboat could not say where to find the alligators. Actually, last time the driver of that boat told us that if we make noise, then the alligators will not come close to us because they love to have a calm ambience. And this airboat was making so much noise. I don't know if this was one of the reasons why we did not find them. Guys, it was almost 36 degrees Celsius at that time, and though we had plans to go for the trails like Flamingo and Hinga, there were many trails in there, but we cancelled all the plans and came back as soon as we could. Actually, we had to dine somewhere, so we were searching for an Indian restaurant. The name of this restaurant was Lazi's Cuisine, and the food was awesome. Lajawab. Generally, we don't order for biryani anywhere, even if it is Indian restaurant. But that day, somehow we just felt that we should give it a try. And then whatever food came, it was really good. Of course, for my son, there was chicken 65 and naan. And for my daughter, it was naan, obviously, because she loves to have roti, paratha and all that. Fact is that when she saw us eating biryani, she wanted to have that, leaving aside her naan.
Ariana, what is this? 2 fishes?
So that was the end of our third day of Miami trip. I know we missed many things in Everglades National Park. As I already mentioned that it's a natural reserve for many animals, birds, reptiles and of course plants. It's a complete ecosystem in itself. But that day was so hot that we could not control ourselves from getting into the hotel as soon as possible. Thank you everyone for watching this video and keep watching for the next episodes.